We've constructed a character that needs to like take 3 actions, and their objective is to just remotely push somebody into a hole.
Yeah, I don't want to get too close. I'm a sorcerer.
Okay.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're breaking down our picks for the top 5 and one worst: Sorcerer Cantrips.
If you've been with us for a while and have seen our Wizard top 5 on worst cantrips, it is one of the more viewed videos on this channel.
Yeah.
This might look familiar.
It's probably going to look familiar. I intentionally did not go back and watch that. I think it's been over a year since we did that, and I intentionally didn't go back and watch it because I wanted to see, have I learned anything?
Well, we're going to find out today. There is one note I want to give about sorcerers, is you get 1,000,000 cantrips. You start with 4. That's so many. So many cantrips. It means you have actually room for some bad ones. So if there's like some pet ones you have, like poison spray, and you're like, oh my god, I love poison spray, I have to get in my sheet. Even if you don't end up casting, you're not going to feel too bad if you have 3 other bangers. So, you know. There's another also thing I should mention. That's Metamagic is really important, and a particular Metamagic is important is Quicken Spell. So when you have it cast, it says whenever you cast a spell that is cast type of an action, you can spend 2 source points to change it to a bonus action. What this often means is you're going to bonus action to quicken a spell, and then you're going to cast a cantrip as an action, or you're going to cast a spell as an action, and you're going to quicken a cantrip as a bonus action. Because it kind of gives you a way to double cast in a turn. You can't double cast first level or higher slots using bonus actions. Cantrips are a thing you're going to want to fall back to. What that means in the context of picking cantrips is cantrips that scale better and are more readily usable in a wider range of environments are going to be a slight higher priority for someone like me that wants to get every little piece of juice out of their sheet, so I can know I have a quicken option here while I cast a spell with other action.
Yeah. I probably should have given that thought, but I didn't.
Yeah. Metamagic really shakes Sorcerer up a lot.
Yes. All right, you wanna kick this one off?
Sure. Let's go my bottom. This is fits all the cosmetics, but this one I actually think earns the number 1 slot, rarely on Sorcerer. Gust is my number 5. And again, you could put Prestidigitation here for if you like that one more, Mold Earth, whatever. I actually think Gust is really novel on Sorcerer because it can be a bonus action disengage where you quicken Gust, see what happens, and then if you can move freely, you can move and then use your action for other things, or if you absolutely have to, okay, action disengage, leave, be sad about it.
I picked Gust as well. I was kind of surprised at myself. This was my 5th pick, but over the time that we've been doing these, I've become more and more enamored with forced movement, as you know, and this is one more thing to stack on top.
I really love that it has nothing to do with me, because I sure don't rate these highly, but
No.
you just keep going up and up and up on forced movement options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you don't love these.
Because they don't do anything most of the
They
time.
move people.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. The bonus action.
I mean, this is just a little push, but this combined with other things could be a bigger push.
Namely, Quicken Spell is what you combine with this with. That's honestly the only reason it makes my list. I think 99% of the time that it's still going to be a cosmetic cantrip, and it's going to be fine if you're like a Storm Sorcerer in particular. It seems like a natural fit for you to blow things around, push people around, cause leaves to rustle or whatever your heart desires to get you that full fantasy. Bob just wants to push people back into his blade barrier.
Yeah,
so.
I do not give a crap about rustling leaves.
Yeah. There's a bonus action to shove somebody into your area of effect damage spell if you can set that up, and that's within 5 feet. But, you can live the dream.
Yeah.
And again, you got 4 of these, so this is a pretty easy, like, this... the 4 times this happens per this campaign is worth one of my 4 known cantrips.
All right. What do I have? What else do I have, that is? Let me check my list. All right, I've got... All right, I know this one's going to make yours. Here's one that probably didn't. I picked Firebolt.
That's actually my number 4.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a sorcerer. I want to stay back and hit things from as far away as I can. It's a nice thing to have in my back pocket.
Normally, I am a lot
doing
lower on this, you're right.
Yeah,
but, like, sorcerers also don't get, like, any spells known. That's sort of their biggest pain point, is you get to know, like, 4 spells. So having a consistent damaging option is valuable. More importantly, this scales great as the game goes on, and it's twinnable. So there will be real fights in the upper tiers where you'll go 5th level spell, bonus action, twin quicken, go. Or you can't twin quicken, but quicken a firebolt. There will be real rounds where you go twin a firebolt, quicken a firebolt. And that's just a way to get more juice on your sheet to just push out a lot of damage at once for what is an entirely first level. I throw this out 2 or 3 times in the first few fights because we aren't in a tier yet where I'm not running out of resources.
Also, Firebolt, it's got I know that's probably not objectively great, but I do like that it has such a wide variance of damage. It's 1d10. Sometimes it'll barely do anything. Sometimes it'll hit pretty good for a cantrip.
Sometimes it'll do nothing, and it's when it misses. Sometimes
Yeah,
it'll do 1 damage, and you'll have your heart break because you thought you were going to do something and you did 1 damage. And then sometimes you hit a 10, and everyone goes, "Oh my god, the goblin's head exploded!" That is a very
I
high
like that kind of
variance.
spell.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't.
All right, what else do you have?
All right, my number 3 is Mind Sliver.
Oh, I picked that too. I'm surprised.
Number 3 for 3. I'm pretty sure that means we're going to be 5 for 5.
No.
Well, maybe. You didn't pick. Oh, you hate this one that I like a lot. That's fine.
Well,
Mind Sliver.
And I know one that you don't appreciate that I like a lot.
Oh, okay, great. Mind Sliver I put on this list again for the unique instance that it is working with Quicken Spell on a really interesting axis. So, like, if you have one of them, number 1 or 2 for out of combat stuff, you have Firebolt as a main damage fallback. I really do think there'll be some saves. You go, this is important enough that I'm going to Quicken a Mind Sliver, go for it, try and get my bonus damage, and then immediately throw a saving throw at them, right? So, like, you can immediately pay off your Mind Sliver with a big saber die, with a big, Feeble Mind, or more likely Hold Monster, Dominate Monster, that kind of thing. And the setup there is really quick. He's like 1-2 punch that you can get into the flow of really consistently. It also is a thing that you don't mind throwing down in 1 round and next round going, okay, I'm going to do it again for bonus damage, do it again for bonus damage. It's an entirely reasonable little damage cantrip that does enough damage and has some fun play patterns with higher level sorcerer stuff.
Yeah, see, a lot of this stuff you're doing for Quicken Spell, I'm doing because, you always say, oh, nobody in the party wants to cooperate. I'm trying to be that cooperative player. I'm getting Gust to throw into somebody else's area of effect spell. I'm getting Mind Sliver to set somebody else up to force a saving throw. That's I'm doing my part. I'm pulling my weight.
Bards?
I sometimes do. I used to play bards exclusively.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was.
I just know you as from your rogue days, where you're just like a skeevy little guy stabbing people in the neck.
All right, we're zipping through these, and so far we've been 3 for 3. Here is where I think our paths will diverge. I picked Mold Earth.
Yeah, you're right. This is where we diverge. This I think comfortably fits alongside Gust, but is worse uniquely on Sorcerer just because it doesn't have a good bonus action application. But I don't know why you love this thing as much as you do, to be honest.
It can move so much loose Earth.
Loose?
Yeah. There are times when you're going to have loose Earth, and there's so many potential applications that aren't coming to me right now.
They usually involve having dug a 5-foot cube with a shovel first.
Yeah, but I can dig 5-foot cubes so much quicker than you can with a shovel.
That's not true, because that's not loose dirt, that's packed dirt.
Oh, well, you still can't dig loose dirt that much with a shovel. That quickly.
Normally it's because it's already been dug. It's like a grave robbery or something like that. I don't see there being much more value in this other than the cosmetic elements of it beyond
freshly buried people. I need to exhume this corpse. That's not packed earth.
How often? Normally you're the ones leaving the corpses, not exhuming them, but sure.
Well, if I want all the treasures.
Okay. Yeah, sure. They just buried the gems down there with them.
What do you think grave robbery is for?
Yeah, I'm saying you probably don't want your cantrip to be exclusively and predominantly aimed at grave robbing, and I think that's like the most common use case Mold Earth is going to have.
That's a good one, but I disagree. I think there's going to be more.
You do more? Do you have in a recent campaign? Have you robbed a grave?
No.
Okay, it's fine. commoners out there, your mileage may vary. If your DM rules that dirt is loose dirt, all of a sudden this is a tunnel bore and it'll take you everywhere you want to go. Most of the time, it has a hard time getting a lot more use outside of its cosmetic elements, which is why I put it right next to Gust.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that was coming.
I don't know why I didn't think it was coming, because I have a good number 1 picked, and it's called Minor Illusion, my number 2. Like an actual, factual, fantastic spell.
That was my runner-up.
That's embarrassing.
No, we've talked about Minor Illusion before. I was really tempted to put this ahead of Gust, but you have better uses for it than I do.
It's got so many uses.
Yeah.
It makes sounds. It makes physical objects you can hide behind, hide inside. It can create still images of creatures, silhouettes if you need it. It has a ton of actual applications that you will regularly find you can use at every table, not just tables that rule dirt is loose dirt.
Yes, you're right. I'd go as far as to say objectively right, but I just like Mold Earth better.
That's a good reason. Now, that is the reason I accept for it being on your list, and I wholeheartedly support that reason.
All right, you didn't say that was your number 1, right?
That's my number 2.
Yes.
You know my number 1 is. You can say it.
It's my number 1 as well. Mage Hand.
It's so good. Telekinesis turns out is really busto. By busto, I mean just like solid and fun to play with. This isn't a spell that anyone's gonna like complain the wizard has, or in this case the sorcerer has, but it's always gonna feel fun to run around and slap people around with it, steal objects, pickpocket, knock over tankards in the local tavern, or pull a lever from 30 feet back that causes a giant explosion, right? Like, this is a useful little ability that anyone that can get it probably wants.
Yes. The only reason I'm not getting Mage Hand, if it's available, is because I'm getting Telekinetic Feet, and then I'm still probably getting Mage Hand.
Well, if you're a sorcerer, you got 4 of these, so you might as well.
Yeah.
You got a damaging cantrip, you got a utility cantrip that's molded for some reason, you got an extra one in between there, and then you got room for Mage Hand too, right? Like, there's no shortage of cantrips. A lot of these spells you can pretty comfortably take, knowing as long as you got 2 of our top 5 on there, you're gonna have no problem existing in and out of combat.
Yeah, all right. Well, that you want to go through your list again?
Number 1, Mage Hand. Number 1, Minor Illusion. Number 3, Mind Sliver. Number 4, Firebolt, unique for me. Another unique one for me, Gust, but again, that kind of has the placer of a little cosmetic cantrip, and it gets a really, really tiny plus next to it, because the disengage thing is kind of cute if you got a million sorcery points to burn.
Yeah, I've got Mage Hand, Mind Sliver, Mold Earth, Firebolt, and Gust, which I like for the 5-foot shove.
Almost never worth an action, let it be known.
Combined with my telekinetic 5-foot shove. Now I've got 10 feet.
Riveting.
To push them into the open grave that I just dug.
With Molder.
And then
I like that we've constructed a character.
Instantly bury them.
We've constructed a character that needs to like take 3 actions, and their objective is to just remotely push somebody into a hole.
Yeah, I don't want to get too close. I'm a sorcerer.
Okay. I do want to mention, honorable mention, I think this is a novel build. I don't think it's very good, but I think it's novel. Green Flame Blade is really cute when you quicken it, so it kind of gives you extra attack at first. Well, at 3rd level, whenever you get your Metamagic stuff. The problem is that the costs add up really fast. You start having to like eat sorcery points to get extra attack, so it doesn't really work out that well, but it is kind of a cute thing to consider if you wanted to try a mid-tier Gish sorcerer. It might be able to do something kind of interesting.
All right. Let's see. Do we have the same worst? Mine is not a surprise.
Nor is mine. It's True
That
Strike.
could apply to 2 of them.
It's definitely True Strike. Definitively on Sorcerer, it's True Strike.
Okay. Yeah, True Strike was my pick too.
Yeah. Normally we like to talk about Blade Ward at the same time, but that one is a lot better when you can use it as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Like that's a real defensive maneuver. You go, I blast you in the face and I Blade Ward myself. That's a real thing I could see characters excited to do. I can't see a character ever excited to freaking True Strike, and then my attack this round isn't with advantage, but my first attack next round will be.
Yeah, we go watch our True Strike video. I did my best to play devil's advocate, and I did research beforehand. I said, all right, this is why True Strike has a use, not a good one, but anything. And yeah, Sam shot me down every time, and I was fine with that because I wasn't going in as a believer.
No, this is not a
This is,
cantrip that works.
no, this is a pile of garbage.
The steaming pile of trash. Imagine, like, I love the scenario where you're thinking, like, oh, but if I quicken it, then I can kind of get a bonus action to give myself advantage on attack roll. That seems fine, right? You could just make a bonus action attack roll, though. Like, it's all of the exact same problems as regular True Strike has, even with Metamagic.
Just want to reiterate one more time. All right, True Strike. You cast the spell as an action. That's your turn. It gives you advantage on your next attack. Instead of doing that, you could attack this turn. You could attack next turn. Still the same number of dice are rolled, but now you have the option of being able to hit twice, or the possibility of being able to hit twice. Whereas best case scenario with True Strike, you're only going to hit once, and that's not guaranteed. It is just fundamentally worse to do.
Yeah, it's a fundamentally non-functional spell. So much so that in the next edition it gets removed, so we get to stop talking about it soon.
Oh, does it?
Well, it gets revised to the point where it's not recognizable as True Strike anymore.
Right. Oh, well, I'm interested to see what they do with that.
I think it's like basically a shillelagh attack, I think, is how they made it work. It'll be interesting to talk about.
Yep. Well, that'll be then.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, well, not until then, until tomorrow, because we'll have more videos up well before then. Yes, like, subscribe, watch our other videos, and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
What?
Check out our Wizard Top 5 if you want more of this exact same list.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was as enamored with Mold Earth back then, but perhaps.
I talked about Create Bonfire in that video, and that'll work for not sorcerers, because sorcerers really care about the concentration. But we'll get into that in the first levels and above, so, see you there.
All right, let us know what you think. Let us know your personal Sorcerer Cantrip lists. And yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.